The Man Who Started Again. There was once a man named David who owned a small printing business in a busy city. For years, he worked hard, often late into the night, to provide for his wife and 2 children. His shop wasn't big, but it was honest work, and he took pride in every poster, card, and book that came off his machines. He used to say, "Success isn't about having the most, it's about building something that lasts." For a long time, life was good. Until one day, everything changed. The collapse. A massive fire broke out in the row of shops where David's printing store stood. Within hours, everything he had built, the machines, the files, the savings, turned to ashes. He stood in front of the burnt remains, watching the smoke rise into the night sky. It felt like watching years of his life disappear in a few moments. At first, David tried to stay strong. But days turned into weeks, and he found himself drowning in hopelessness. He couldn't afford to rebuild, his clients left, and even his confidence began to fade. Maybe this is the end, he thought. Maybe life has already decided my fate. A message from his daughter. One evening, as David sat quietly in the dark, his little daughter came to him with a small piece of paper. On it, she had drawn a picture of their family standing in front of a shop with a bright yellow sign that said, "Daddy's New Printing Store." She looked at him with innocent eyes and said, "You can build it again, Daddy. You always tell me that we should never give up." Those words pierced his heart. For the first time in months, he smiled, a small, shaky smile, but real. He realized that even though the fire had destroyed his shop, it hadn't destroyed his spirit. Starting from nothing. The next morning, David went to a friend who owned a small stationery store. He asked if he could borrow a corner of the shop to start again, just a small desk with one borrowed printer. It wasn't much, but it was a beginning. He printed flyers, invitations, and greeting cards for local customers. He worked from dawn to midnight, saving every dollar he could. He studied marketing in his free time, learning how to attract clients through social media. Every night, he reminded himself, "I lost everything once, but I will never lose my will again." The climb back up. Months turned into years. David's little desk turned into a rented room, then into a full store again. His business slowly flourished, built not just on money, but on the lessons of failure. One day, during an interview with a local newspaper, a journalist asked, "How did you find the motivation to start again after losing everything?" David smiled and replied, "I stopped looking for motivation, I started creating it. Every time I chose to get up instead of give up, I found strength I didn't know I had." Years later. Years passed, and David's printing company became one of the most trusted in his city. He employed people who were once jobless, giving them the same chance he once needed. He kept the little drawing from his daughter framed in his office, the one that said, "Daddy's New Printing Store." Every time he looked at it, he was reminded of how powerful faith, love, and persistence can be. The lesson. David's story teaches us that even when life burns everything down, you still have the power to rebuild. Motivation doesn't come from success, it's born in your hardest moments when you decide that failure will not define you. Because no matter how deep you fall, you can always rise again, one small step, one act of courage, one day at a time. And sometimes what you rebuild after losing everything becomes even stronger than what you had before.